Every parent wants their child to grow, to explore, and to dream big. At MPB, we're proud to support families and teachers across Mississippi with trusted educational programming and resources that inspire learning and spark imagination. From PBS Kids Favorites to digital tools and early learning support, MPB is here for young minds, engaged classrooms, and families who believe in the power of learning at every age. Empowering families, inspiring learners. MPB, your stories, our mission.
The Measuring Show.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Next Stop Mississippi.
That's new.
I was trying
I
was trying to channel you.
That was zany.
I was trying to channel you.
That was zany.
We're back and zany as ever. I'm feeling it. How you feeling, everybody?
Wonderful.
I'm sorry. I have not had a drop of coffee, but I am excited today.
The caffeine is seemingly exuding, but you're saying there's nothing that's happening.
Nothing is happening with me on the inside except for happiness, and I'm happy to be back
That
here.
is wonderful to hear.
There we go.
On Next Stop Mississippi. I mean, I'm just happy to be alive. And you know what? It's a good day today. You know, it's Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody who has served in our military, who have given their lives for Memorial Day. We will commemorate those people. We will think about those people when we will hold those people in high regard.
Most definitely.
Happy Memorial Day to everybody. And I'm talking to the back now. Y'all know I had a Memorial Day graphic. There we go.
I'm talking to the back now.
That was brought up this morning on Mississippi Edition, where, in Columbus.
Yeah.
Where
you know who brought that up too, about Memorial Day being started in Columbus, Mississippi. None other than my right-hand woman back there, Marissa Vaughn.
Marissa.
Who hails from around Columbus.
Wow.
But yeah, she if you can watch her clip, I know she doesn't want me to say this, but you can go to Facebook or Instagram, any social, and you can see the clip of Marissa talking about how how Memorial Day was founded in Columbus, Mississippi.
Full of tidbits and Snapple fun facts.
That's how the state is. That's how we do here. Okay, so also today is National Road Trip Day. National Road Trip Day celebrates just getting everybody together, all the families together, and getting on the road. So I wanted to ask, do you have any fond memories of road trips from your childhood, Kamel?
Oh, yeah. I mean, many of them. The ones that I loved the most was going to Baton Rouge, my dad's hometown.
Okay.
It wasn't too long of a drive. I knew we were going to see the other side of the family.
Yeah.
And I mean, I loved, my dad's side of the family and still do, but those trips were the most fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way because my parents were in the military and we had family all around the United States. So we took long drives all the time.
Really?
And I told this on autocorrect yesterday. The last road trip we took, I was able to drive. I was like 16, and we started from here in Mississippi, and we drove through Georgia. We drove through Virginia. We went through Pennsylvania. We were trying to get to Buffalo, New York, and South Bend, Indiana, but we went around to get to it or whatever. By the time we got to South Bend and we were coming home, they handed me the keys. And that was my first time ever driving the family home or anything on a road trip. But yeah.
You have such a glimmer in your eye when you talk about it. That sounds like pure Hades to me.
It was not
I hate long
a glimmer.
drives like
No,
that.
it was not a glimmer.
I freaking hate long drives
No,
like that.
I did not want to. I kind of enjoyed just riding. And then they were like, we tired. Here you go.
I don't want to ride that far.
I know it. Here you go.
I hate long trips like that. You heard what I said. Baton Rouge, 2.5 hours.
Right.
Benton, Mississippi to my great granddaddy house. That's about it.
Right.
Yeah. What about Java?
Java,
you get on the road a lot?
Road trips from your past?
Yeah, I have a couple memorable ones, but I'll spare you. Speaking of long drives, the first time I made that Atlanta drive from Jackson to Atlanta, I was like, 6 hours. I can eat that. That's nothing. I like a long drive, Camille.
Okay.
And then I remember me and my guy, DJ Bear, a long time ago, we went from Jackson to Orlando on a drive.
It's terrible.
But if I could think about my favorite one is it was a trip from here to Natchez, because that's my father's hometown, and it was around whatever year Aquemini came out from Outkast.
96.
Because back in those days,
Germaine.
She got it.
That's it.
But back in those days, you had to have your CDs and your CD book.
Yes.
I wasn't trying to hear what my parents were listening to in the car.
Right.
So on my yellow Discman, I listened to Aquemini, and I was like, this is the greatest album ever made.
It was the backdrop to the whole trip.
I was like,
it?
what in the
Literally is
world?
the greatest album ever made. Okay, that's a good one.
That's a good one, John.
That is a good one.
Good one.
Okay, so here's a couple of things that you could get on the road to this Memorial Day weekend that aren't too far, Kamel, Mr. I Can't Drive.
6 hours is absolute tops.
Mr. I Can't. Well, you know what? Thank goodness the state is not that big. You can get from the top, from the middle to the bottom in less than 6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so Late Night with Rita Brent, that's up first. But let me tell you, if you don't have a ticket to this, you're not going to drive to this one because both nights are sold out.
That's
Another
Shout
banger.
out to her again.
I know it.
That's what I'm
Shout out to
talking
Rita
about.
B. I had to come in this morning and flip the graphic.
Put the sold out stamp
With
on
a
it.
sold out stamp on it. So shout out to her. So I had to
Yeah.
put that in the mix just to give her a shout out on selling out these things
Love
every
it. So
single
proud of her. Yes.
last time
Yes.
she does them. Every single time. Okay, here's another one that you can drive to Memorial Day weekend seafood boil that's coming up in Brandon, Mississippi. That's tomorrow, May 24th, 12 p.m. until 11 p.m. That's going to be an all-day thing. Event highlights fresh Louisiana crawfish, shrimp, crab, barbecue, cold drinks and beer, karaoke. Those two things go together. Cold drinks and beer and karaoke. Kid-friendly games, live entertainment all weekend long.
You know what doesn't go together, right?
What?
Cold drinks, beer, 11 o'clock, and driving back from Brandon.
Nah.
So you might want to Uber yourself, guys.
If you know somebody out there.
Uber yourselves.
And we also have nice hotels in Rankin County.
There you go. Be safe. Be responsible.
And before we get into our first stop of the day, here's another Memorial Day drive that you can make to Hattiesburg. It's Serengeti Springs at the Hattiesburg Zoo. They're announcing their official opening date for season 2. Well, the official day was supposed to be yesterday, but surprise, surprise, I've got a breaking announcement. It's today. They are going to open up today, 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. So if you've been waiting to get touched by the water like I am, head over to Serengeti Springs at the Hattiesburg Zoo. I love water. I cannot wait to go to the zoo this summer. I'm excited about that. And what I'm also excited about is coming up in Pass Christian, Mississippi. It's Jazz in the Pass, Sunday, May 25th, 12 p.m. until 8 p.m. And we have got Jazz in the Pass representative on with us to tell us more. Come on in. You got to tell me your name because I did not remember to pick that up this morning. I will tell the truth.
She was going to mess it up anyway, even if she did
No,
pick it
I
up.
wasn't,
She
Kamel.
was definitely going to mess it up.
Good morning. My name is Joe Piernas.
Hey, Joe.
I'm the chairman of Jazz in the Past.
Hey, Joe. It's nice to have you
Can't
on.
mess Joe up.
Yeah, I can't miss Joe up.
She could.
Joe, but his last name, Piernas?
Uh-huh.
Did I say it right?
Pyrenees.
Okay, I messed it up. You told me I was going to do that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're not the first and won't be the last.
Joe Pyrenees, he is the chairman of Jazz of the Past. He is on here with us to let us know all about this awesome event that is happening once again in War Memorial Park in Pass Christian. Joe, how excited are you about putting this on each and every single year?
I'm very excited because it's something that people in the past and the surrounding areas really enjoy. It's an event where you can come to the park, relax, listen to good music, visit the art and craft vendors, the food vendors, and just make a good day out of it.
Yeah. I love that. You know what's awesome about this event? It's free.
It's free.
That is very awesome.
When you are out spending money on
It takes a lot of donation and sponsorship to make it happen, but yes, it's free to the public.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're out there spending money during Memorial Day weekend, you need something on the side of free. You do need something on the side of free.
That way you can spend when you get inside,
right,
with the vendors.
Right. But not only can you spend when you get inside with the vendors, this is all surrounding entertainment. Joe, let them know what they need to know about the whole lineup for the day.
Well, our lineup for the day, we have 3 bands. We normally have 4, but this year we have Jake's Jazz Trio, and we have a local band, Favorite Stars. And our headliner will be Rockin' Doopsie out of Louisiana.
Okay.
And we start at noon and end at 8 p.m., and we end it with a big firework display.
Joe, do I sense in your accent a little bit of Louisiana in you?
No.
Oh, man, goodness. I thought it was a little bit of French in there.
That's what happens when you touching the edge of it,
touching the edge of it. I want to ask, the coast is just so eclectic and robust in its different communities and cities. It's not just all one feel. Each one of them seems to have its own personality. How would you describe the personality of Pass Christian?
Pass Christian is a friendly resort town. I mean, people get along. As I'm standing by the stage, and people were walking their dogs down the sidewalk, and they was just thanking me for putting this on. They say, "We thank you. We love Jazz in the Past." And I mean, it's just a diverse crowd of people that come out and have a good time.
Joe, do me a favor. Say that city name one more time for me.
Pass Christian.
Pass Christian.
You said
Christian.
You said Christian.
That's because I'm a Christian. I knew you was trying. I felt the web coming. I felt the trap coming.
You come at me. I had to come at you. I caught that one. Joe, listen, I want to know, though, each and every single year, I've seen the photos. Talk about the turnout. It's a sea of people.
Last year we estimated around 3,500 people in the park throughout the day.
Nice.
That's more. We in a population of 5,000 people in this town, and you get that many people come out and party. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been getting calls for the last 2 weeks. Jazz in the Past is on this Sunday. Yes, we're ready. We're fired up.
Yeah, yeah. And it's set. The stage is it set on the backdrop of the ocean?
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, we can see you, Joe. We're actually looking at the photo too of the backdrop of the ocean. Oh, you about to show me, Joe? You got to take your filter off, but I love it. Take your filter off, Joe. You've got that little fog filter.
Filter on.
we do things real live here. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's looking like a blur, Joe.
But it's okay, Joe. But Joe, we can actually I had pulled
see if I can find it.
I had pulled some of the photos, and they're actually looking at those right now.
Yeah.
Of those. And so that's awesome. I mean, it's beautiful to be able to sit there and to see that backdrop of that ocean. That's how I felt during Pepsi Pops a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
But
can you see it now?
Yes, Joe. What you showing me? What is that you're showing us now?
Okay, this is the tent. This is the tent we set up in the park, and this is where people can come bring their chairs and sit underneath the tent, out of the sunlight. If you're not sitting underneath a tree or something, we have that tent. We have a Jazz in the Past tent set up over there by the Coke trailer. This is the stage, and we have it centered in the park, centered to the tent. So you can just see it from just about any angle.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
That's nice.
Look at the cars driving by. This is a party. I'm just going to be one of the cars driving by behind and be like, I seen it.
We have a lot of people. We have a lot of people that'll come, and they're driving down the highway. They're traveling. they see this event, they pull over and they come and they ask, well, what is this? And now they come every year.
I love it. I love it, Joe. And speaking of coming every year, this time it's one of the people's favorite places that's coming. Buc-ee's is the crescendo sponsor.
Buc-ee's.
Oh man, nothing but brisket sandwiches out there.
Yes, they didn't hesitate to help sponsor us, and they actually pay the cost of the fireworks.
Yeah,
Nice.
and what time does all of that kick off? The actual fireworks show?
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
As soon as Rock and Deucey finish playing, fireworks kick off on the beach.
I love that.
Beautiful.
I love that.
And people can stay right here in the park on Scenic Drive and watch the whole display without having to go on the beach.
Right. And everybody also remember, because what I ended up not remembering is to bring my lawn blanket or my lawn chair to Pepsi Pops. Please remember to bring something to sit on, or else you will be sitting on grass and you will think the bugs are biting your legs. Okay?
Yeah. It's going to be sprayed today, so we'll take care of that.
That's what happened to me.
Golden advice.
That's what happened to me. And then also, please leave your glass containers. Remember, we talked about this last year with Jazz in the past.
What were you doing out there with glass and containers?
You got to put those
No
up.
glass containers.
Don't bring those glass containers. We talked about that.
You're the only one out there with glass Coca-Cola bottles.
Yeah, all heavy bagged.
Right.
Yeah. And to give you a little history of how this got started, we had a gentleman from Pass Christian. His name was John Handy, Captain John Handy. And he became a famous jazz player. He played the sax. He traveled around the world. And so we named this event after him, Captain John Handy, with Jazz in the Past.
I love it. And it celebrates the musical heritage of Pass Christian as a whole. So come on now. It's a nice night on a beautiful weekend.
Yes.
I mean, Memorial Day weekend is starting off right today.
Most certainly.
If you hadn't stepped out today, step outside.
It is nice.
But definitely step outside. Sunday, May 25th at 12 p.m. for Jazz in the Past. Joe, let them know where they can go to get more information.
We have a website you can go to, jazzinthepast.org. And you can you read the history of Jazz in the Past and find out everything you need to know about how to get here and everything that's going on the day of.
Right. Joe, thank you so much for letting us know all about this toe-tapping live music event that's happening in Pass Christian.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
You guys bring so much energy.
Yeah, you brought it with us. You brought it back.
Right.
You showed it.
Thank
You
you.
gave us a tour, Joe. Listen, everybody stick around. Coming up is none other than my legendary interview with none other than Wang Chung, the lead singer, Mr. Jack Hues, for the I Want My 80s tour. That's coming up Saturday, May 31st at the Brandon Amphitheater and June 1st in Gautier, Mississippi at the Sound Amphitheater. He was a blast. Stick around for that. You're listening to Next Stop Mississippi on MPB Think Radio.
Mississippi is a place of deep roots where every story matters and every voice can be heard. At MPB, we stand with our local communities, bringing you the voices of those who shape our state through local programming that reflects our culture across small towns to big cities, from the Delta to the coast. We tell the stories that define us, from the music that carries our voices to the leaders who inspire change. MPB brings you the heart of Mississippi, celebrating Mississippi one story at a time. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Hello, I'm Desiree Frazier, host of the award-winning news program, Mississippi Edition. We bring you conversations about the latest news from across the Magnolia State. Whether it's politics, healthcare, or education, you'll hear in-depth discussions on issues that matter to you. So join us each weekday morning at 8:30 on MPB Think Radio, or download the podcast, listen through the app, and online.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
This is Next Stop Mississippi on MPB Think Radio. I'm Germaine Flood. And let me tell you something. I'll begin this next segment by simply stating, Mississippi, get ready to rock. The I Want My 80s tour is coming live to the Brandon Amphitheater Saturday, May 31st, with the tour set to visit 42 American cities. And not only will they be there, but they will also hit the Mississippi Gulf Coast and delivering iconic hits like Jesse's Girl, Don't Talk to Strangers, Missing You, and Everybody Have Fun Tonight. So who's ready from a blast from the past with Rick Springfield, John Wake, John Cafferty, and of course, none other than Wang Chung. And in with us is none other than the lead vocalist of Wang Chung, the legendary man himself, Mr. Jack Hues. Jack, welcome to Next Stop Mississippi.
Well, thank you for that great introduction.
Oh, man, thank you so much for coming on. We literally have so much to talk about. I've got to jump into it. Of course, everything at the top of the list is all kind of surrounding the retrospective Clear Light, Dark Matter album that you all have that has already come out already, but that everybody can listen to and kind of be nostalgic with and learn new hits. But before we get into any of that, Jack, I have got to address the elephant in the room for everybody. When I told them I was going to be on with Wang Chung, they all had one question. What in the world is a Wang Chung, Jack? What is a Wang Chung? Define.
Or is it something you do? We haven't ever really figured it out, and so we let people sort of just run with it, come up with their own ideas,
Yeah. And look, I was wondering too, back when Wang Chung dropped, it had a dance to it. Was there a specific Wang Chung dance? It's all about that. I don't think
there was. We did the video, which in those days was quite unique. It had this very fast jump cutting editing. It actually got banned in the UK, this video, because they said it could cause epilepsy if you suffered from that condition. I've never heard anybody suffer from that, but I guess that isn't the Wang Chung dance.
Now you got me wanting to go push the red button again, and I'm going to go watch it again and see what happens.
See what happens.
I love this. Jack, 40 plus years in the music business with Wang Chung. I mean, literally coming all the way around to, going back on tour again. How does that feel? I mean, starting from where you started from, we're literally sitting in 2025. What are you up to the task?
I think I am. Yeah. In fact, I think more than ever, really. Wang Chung has been touring more in the last couple of years than we've done. Well, certainly than we did back in the 80s. Back then, making albums in the studio was really what the game was all about. We did tour with the Cars in 1984, a big stadium tour, and with Tina Turner in 1987, I think that was. But yeah, touring now is a great pleasure, because people kind of know what they're buying. They're signed up to Wang Chung, and it's fun, and physically. Yeah, it can get a little tiring, but it's the traveling that's tiring, really, rather than the actual shows themselves.
Yeah. And speaking of the shows, do you see new fans at these shows?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we notice a much younger demographic showing up at our shows. And I guess because of streaming and, kids can just kind of search these things. And I notice, we get some young, aspiring musicians, who clearly had to listen to the songs and thought, these are interesting to try and actually play them.
Yeah. Maybe, okay, this is a side note. Maybe we can revamp the Wang Chung again with a viral hit dance that is the Wang Chung, and then the kids will just take off with it again.
Maybe that's it. Get that TikTok thing going.
Yeah, TikTok will do all of that for us. I love that. Okay, let's jump into the extensive career retrospective, Clear Light, Dark Matter. This has got some nostalgia for everybody who knew Wang Chung then, and then it also has new releases on it as well. Talk a little bit about the creation of this and when you all sat down to put this together.
Well, we were thinking about, re-releasing our back catalogue basically, and how to sort of set that up, and doing some sort of retrospective seemed a good idea. But rather than just doing a greatest hits package, which we've done before, we thought we'd actually add in a second disc of rarities, outtakes, B-sides, some demos as well.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if you're a fan of Dancehall Days, the demo of Dancehall Days is on the second album. Similarly, with To Live and Die in LA, we put the demo of that on there. When we were in the UK, we started out with a UK record deal before we signed to Geffen Records in Los Angeles. And with the UK, we did this album that was called Wang Chung, which we spelt the name slightly
It
differently.
had an H in it or something.
That's it. Yeah, nobody could pronounce it, so we changed it to Wang. But anyway, I was trawling through the multi-tracks of that album. I managed to get hold of those and found a track that we recorded at the time but never really finished and certainly didn't release. So I've mixed that, and that's on this second album of rarities. So there's a whole spectrum of stuff from our very early days right up to the more recent remix of Everybody Have Fun Tonight that Eric Cutler did.
Right. Jack, let me tell you something. So I don't mind telling it. I was born in 1983. And when I sat down and I was like, I know Wang Chung. I didn't know I knew Wang Chung the way I knew Wang Chung, because I was the baby who was watching all of the 80s movies, whether that be Breakfast Club or whatever that 80s movie was that looked just like Breakfast Club, because they had so many that came out. But that's when I noticed just you all's, like, the velocity of you all's work. I mean, you were literally, in my opinion, the epitome of the 80s as we know it today. I mean,
we were very fortunate to have so many syncs in movies at that time, and I don't know what it is about our music that attracts movie people. I think there is maybe a certain cinematic thing to it, or sort of romance in some of it, But yeah, we had, Inner Space had Hypnotize Me, Breakfast Club, as you say, had Fire in the Twilight. The new album, the retrospective to Clear Light, Dark Matter, has a live version of the Breakfast Club song, Fire in the Twilight. So that's, again, another collector thing for people who don't know that.
Yeah, and then your influence even extended beyond just, let's just say, pop music. It went into the hip-hop world. To Live and Die in L.A., I mean, I know that from hip-hop land. But, it's your influence is so great.
Yeah, I think we did influence a lot of people, because Wang Chung's success, it was very visible, obviously, with Everybody Have Fun Tonight. But even Dancehall Days, though it was a proper sort of top 40 hit, I forget what number it got to, but it had a big reach, that song, Somebody yesterday was saying, when I heard that song, I knew it had a sort of gravitas to it, which is probably a bigger word. But yeah, and the songs are certainly have an enduring appeal, because they've been used in movies not only in the 80s, but through the 90s, the 2000s. And so we've been very fortunate to have these, the music showing up in all sorts of different movie situations.
I love it. I love it. I'm on with the biggest thing ever from the 80s, and I'm just ecstatic about the whole thing. Okay, let's talk a little bit about you coming to Mississippi. Will this be Wang Chung's first time stepping foot here?
Well, I think it might be with me and Nick, because I know I did a show in, I think it was Jackson, Mississippi.
That's it. That's where we're at. Yeah.
Okay, well, I remember getting off the tour bus there and being hit by the humidity like a sledge.
Y'all are coming right before the humidity settles in. So,
okay, but I can survive it this time then. Yeah.
May 31st.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm married to a girl now from Louisiana, so she was sort of saying like, "Yeah, you're a Southern boy now," So,
okay.
And I love the South.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Before I get into the tour stops, we've got a city named Oxford, and they think they're from the UK there. We've got we've got a double-decker bus there. They've got the telephone booths as well. So you're kind of at home a little bit, Jack.
Okay, I might feel at home. Yeah.
But again, May 31st, Brandon Amphitheater. That's right around the corner from Jackson. So you'll be about 20 minutes outside of the capital city. And then Sunday, June 31st, that's going to be at the Sound Amphitheater in Gautier, Mississippi. So you'll be on the coast. You'll get wind there.
A little sea breeze.
You'll get a breeze. You will definitely get a breeze there. When it comes down to what they can expect at these shows, how much fun does Wang Chung have? Does everybody Wang Chung that night?
Everybody gets to Wang Chung that night. Yeah, that's the culminating point of the set.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to play the hits. People wouldn't let us go if we didn't. But we'll also be playing. We want to play the title track to Live and Die in LA. It's the 40th anniversary of To Live and Die in LA this year.
Happy birthday!
And that's a project where we did the entire soundtrack. Not just one song for it.
Yeah.
And we worked with the director William Friedkin, who directed The Exorcist and The French Connection. And that was an amazing project. In fact, what we want to try and do is do some gigs at the end of the year where we play the entire album and show the movie and stuff like that, because it was a unique project, I think, for an 80s band. Lots of bands had songs in movies, but none of them, I don't think, did an entire soundtrack.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so I had to be put up on what they call game, and I learned that this genre of rock was labeled yacht rock. Do you know about that? Teach me a little bit about that.
I've heard about it. Yeah, somebody was saying actually that they wanted to use one of our tracks on this yacht rock thing. Yeah, I think actually it's to do with Michael McDonald, isn't it? I think Michael McDonald, who amazing singer, and he sang with us on a track, the same album that had Everybody Have Fun Tonight, an album called Mosaic.
Yeah.
We had a track called A Fool and His Money, and Michael McDonald and me duetted on it. It's a very unusual song for us because we didn't write it.
Yeah.
It was a kind of imported thing. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Right. Right. They threw Earth, Wind, and Fire into this genre as well.
Well, that would work. I met those guys recently, actually. We hung out. Where were we?
Oh, don't say that, Jack. And I'm once removed from Earth, Wind, and Fire by talking to you.
Yeah. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, they were brilliant as well. Those songs are just timeless.
Yeah. And look, I'm going to say this because I said it to them. I said, the Michael McDonalds, the Earth, Wind, and Fires. Especially when it came down to the white artists, it was basically the white artists who had soul, is what we called it, and I didn't know it was called yacht rock.
Yeah, it has unpleasant overtones to me of wealthy white people and stuff. But I don't know. If they want to get into it, great.
Yeah, that's how Black people we have those artists, and that's how we kind of grouped everybody in. And you're in there, Wang Chung. You're in there.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're in somewhere.
I love it. Talk about the future. Where does Wang Chung go after the tour? Where does Wang Chung go, from here and now forth forever, basically?
Yeah, well, there's endless possibilities with the nostalgia factor, But Nick and I, are talking about doing something new together as well, And also, I'm working on a solo album. I think Nick is too, Sometimes when you're in a band for a long period of time, you need a bit of oxygen from the outside world,
Yeah.
So living here in Austin, Texas, I have access to a huge range of amazing musicians. So I've been working with some of those guys, and I have a solo album. It's the third of 3 solo albums.
Right. Come on now.
I've been releasing over the last 5 years. So that's all worth checking out. If you're a Wang Chung fan, check out the Jack Hues solo albums.
I love it. And then also, check out the tour, because they're going to be everywhere for the next few months, all the way through August, basically, on tour for the Rick Springfield I Want My 80s tour. Talk a little bit about when y'all go into this whole, I want to know, does everybody dress up as the 80s? Because Jack, you can't see it, but I tried to put on blue mascara and pink lipstick to make this interview work.
Make it more authentic.
Yeah.
I think the audience does, not everybody, but, a lot of the girls show up in the sort of leg warmers and shoulder pads.
The whole nine.
And stuff, yeah. So, if people want to do that, that's all great. We tend to sort of, I think we're drifting more and more into sort of being a metal rock band or something like that.
Yacht rock, bye-bye.
It is a nostalgia fest, and people come out for that. But I think also when you hear Wang Chung live, it is a more rock band experience, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
People are usually pretty surprised. And also that thing of they realize that there are songs that they know, but they've not necessarily associated with Wang Chung in the past. So that's always a cool thing.
Yeah, I had a mind-blown experience when I figured it out. So I can definitely imagine when everybody else does as well. I want to talk talk a little bit about, before we get out of here, again, the retrospective Clear Light, Dark Matter. There are so many versions of this album that you can pick up, whether it be the vinyl or whether it be the CD or the digital, or, I mean, there's so many extras. Talk a little bit about what made y'all want to put together so many packages of this awesome extensive career album.
I guess it's just different price points in a way. You know, you can buy it as a single vinyl album, or you can go for the double, which I'd recommend because it does have all the extra stuff on it.
Yeah.
You can double CD, that has the extra stuff too. And I think when you purchase the vinyl, you get the digital downloads automatically as well.
Okay.
So we try and cover all the bases. We're not streaming it at the moment because we want people to purchase it, you know, in a physical way. We worked hard on the artwork, and there is a deluxe edition with a booklet and all of that stuff. And I personally still buy vinyl, and I particularly like actually the editions of albums like the Beatles albums, for example, where you get all the demos and outtakes and lots of notes about it. Because I think the history of this music is important, you know, and,
it is.
To be preserved, this golden age that we live through.
Well, I'm just glad I got to sit down with the man himself, Jack Hues from Wang Chung.
Nice talking with you, Germaine.
I
Very
know
nice.
it. I love this. Jack, let everybody know why they need to come out May 31st to the Brandon Amphitheater and June 1st to the Sound Amphitheater in Gautier for the I Want My 80s tour.
Yeah, well, you're going to have a great time. You're going to hear a lot of music, you know, and hopefully a few things you don't that are going to please you.
Right. I love it. And Jack, if they wanted more information about Wang Chung, if you don't already know, where can they go?
Well, we have Facebook and Instagram. Those are pretty active. And but there's also wangchung.com, which is should be up to date. You know what it's like, the online stuff. You know, sometimes it languishes a bit, but wangchung.com is good, certainly for getting where you can get Clear Light, Dark Matter, and Facebook and Instagram. They're regularly updated.
Right. Well, Jack, I thank you so much. Tonight, I'll be dance halling my way and Wang Chunging my way to sleep.
Well, that sounds great. I hope you get some sleep.
Again, everybody, I've been sitting down with the legendary Jack Hues of Wang Chung. Those performances, again, Sunday, June 1st, that's going to be at the Sound Amphitheater in Gautier, Mississippi. And Saturday, May 31st, that's going to be at the Brandon Amphitheater in Brandon, Mississippi. Thank you again, Jack, for joining us.
It's been a real pleasure.
When the weather turns severe, when breaking news affects your family, when Mississippi needs answers, MPB is there. We provide real-time emergency alerts, trusted news coverage, and live broadcasts of emergency updates. Available on TV, radio, and online. MPB is on the air and by your side every day of the year. Because when it matters most, Mississippi turns to MPB, Mississippi's trusted source. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Together through the years, together in the future. MPB, your stories, our mission.
The Measuring Show.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Yes.
That was
and
a
speaking
jam.
of, thank you to Jason and our MPB comms department for giving me this awesome EP of dance hall days that I'm going to try my best to not look like a weirdo when I'm like hanging from the edge of the stage to get Jack to sign it for me. Thanks, Jason. You're the best.
Nice, Jason.
You're listening to Next Stop Mississippi on MPB Think Radio. I'm Germaine Flood, in with my traveling partners, Java Chapman and Kamel King. And Kamel has got a bit of Emerald Tiger news to share, and I'm excited about it.
Yes.
Let everybody know.
Man, we are so excited to welcome superstar Southern Soul singer, absolute one of the best writers of our time, performers of our time. J1 has joined our family. So yeah, we so happy to have him. That's my brother right there, and he's been a client of mine literally since I was out of law school. So
congrats.
Yeah, glad to have him.
Congrats. I cannot wait to let everybody know in the future we'll have an episode featuring J1, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, there's a lot going on in your neck of the woods. And here's a couple of other things before we get to our last stop. It's the Chicken and Beer event 2025. It just says Chicken and Beer 2025.
That's all you got to say to get us there. That's it.
It's a highly anticipated event in Meridian celebrating the art of cooking delicious chicken. The event will feature a cooking competition with talented chefs from across the state, all vying for cash prizes and trophies. First place team will win a grand, and then so on and so forth from there, along with bragging rights for their culinary skills. This event, again, will take place at Meridian City Hall, May 24th, 12 p.m. until 10 p.m., so it's an all-day thing. There will be something for everyone, including games for children, rest stations for the elderly. My mama loves a good bench, but don't call her elderly. And live music for the adults. Vendors from both local and neighboring states will participate, offering a variety of foods and drinks. This event is also a great opportunity for businesses to gain exposure and to advertise. The goal of this first Chicken and Beer is to make this an annual tradition, so it'll be Chicken and Beer Part 2 next year.
You could chicken and beer me till I go to the grave, okay? Look, keep it going.
That's a good mix.
They kept it simple.
Karaoke and drinks.
Yeah, there you go.
Chicken and Beer 2025,
That's
Saturday,
right.
May 24, 12 p.m., Meridian, Mississippi. Coming up is our friend. He's doing some stuff this Memorial Day weekend, the legendary Bobby Rush.
Yes.
He's going to be live tomorrow, Saturday, May 24, 7 p.m. at Waterview Casino in Vicksburg, Mississippi. You do not want to miss him. 3-time Grammy Award winner and 6-time nominee, Blues Hall of Famer and winner of 18 Blues Music Awards.
Yes.
You got to say all of that when you talk about the King.
The King. And that man has just gotten off the road promoting the album with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I mean, like,
he keeps it moving.
He keeps it moving. He keeps evolving.
Yeah, he did have a whole album with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And here he comes up Sunday. He does back-to-back gigs.
Woo.
He don't stop.
He don't stop.
Sunday, May 25th, he will be at the Blues Brunch. It's Bobby Rush, King of the Chitlin Circuit, 11 a.m. in Bay St. Louis. He will be there. It's an event featuring an intimate morning with Rush stories and songs and the best blues music. Make sure you all get out to these events, Memorial Day weekend, or some events that you want to hang out around your neck of the woods. Here's an event we're going to hang out at around our neck of the woods. It's our last stop.
Yes.
Mr. Sipp
Yes.
at Duling Hall, Saturday, May 31st, 8 p.m. If you ain't there, you square.
You super square.
And he is in the building with us, not being square today. Been playing since the tender age of 6, but he's here with us today. I don't know how old he is today, but he's still playing.
I'm telling you.
He's still got his guitar in his hand. Kamel, give him a good intro.
You ready for it?
I can feel it coming off of your soul.
Let me explain something to y'all people. This man right here is one of the best entertainers you will ever see in your life since the late James Brown.
Okay.
This man right here is a musician. He is a writer. He is a businessman. He is a mechanic. He is a builder. He's a brick mason. He's a man of God. But one thing he is an upcoming king of the blues.
That's right.
Mr. Sipp, IBC winner, producer, guitar extraordinaire, and superstar performer, Mr. Sipp.
Yes!
Hey.
I you know, a lot of people, I've said this a couple weeks ago, I've shopped a lot of people over the years that I've never been able to get on. And Mr. Sipp is one of them. Why? Because of his moniker.
Yeah.
I cannot have a show called Next Stop Mississippi and you don't have the Mr. of the show, Mr. Sipp.
That's right.
On the show. Man, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm so honored to be here.
I mean, congratulations on all of your accomplishments, Grammy nominee, all of that great stuff. I'm just excited to have you on the show. I mean, I got to first talk about the moniker. I want to know what made you want to come up and say, you know how people, you know, rappers back in the day used to be like, I'm the king of rap.
Right.
And you had to be standing on that.
Yes.
Right now, I feel like you stand and you've stood the test of time with this Mr. Sipp. I mean, you're the man of the state to me.
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
Well, I'm honored. I don't look at myself as the man of the state, but you know, I do want to. I did want to represent Mississippi, and I feel like I am representing Mississippi, and I'm holding up to that. That's just my mission.
Yeah.
They always say Mississippi is the last and the slowest, but no, it's great stuff come out of Mississippi.
Right.
And just something great just happened the other day, you know. Right. American Idol from Mississippi.
That's right. Jamal
Mississippi
Roberts.
got the grease, you know.
Yeah.
We got the grease, and so I'm honored to tote that name.
It's in the water.
It's in the water.
Yeah.
It's in the water. So I'm grateful to tote that name and be a part of this great state.
That's good
you know,
stuff.
And we just gonna keep it rolling.
That's good stuff. And speaking of keeping it rolling, let everybody know what they can expect Saturday, May 31st, though, at Duling Hall, because this is a big show.
This is a big show. You can expect me so for me, I touch a little gospel, a little soul, a little traditional blues. I touch it all simply because I feel like I am music, and I don't want to just be put in a box like a blues box or a soul box, you know. So you can expect a great time, an overall great show,
right,
filled with heartfelt songs and emotions, and just a big party. I know how to throw a party, so it's gonna be a party. So
there's gonna be some songs too. You've got over 125 recording credits to your name.
Yes. And they're steady adding.
And you played on probably triple that amount.
It's steady adding. So I do have a massive catalog, and I'm grateful for that. I don't know, just music. Music is everything to me.
Good.
You know, it's the piece of my life.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about, you just won, and this was my first BMAs that I attended, and you won the BB King Entertainer of the Year award. So that means you are in the top echelon of entertainers. But you cannot be put in the box. You are not, like you said, you're not just a blues man. You do so much. Talk about how entertaining is so important to you and how you've gotten to be so good at it.
Well, it started from church. And I'll be honest, brought up in the sanctified church, where there was a lot of action going on. So, and the preacher would get the people fired up and the singers would get the people fired up. And at that time, me and my brothers, we was the musicians at 6, 7, and 9 years old.
Wow.
We was the musicians over in the corner. So I'm watching how this worked, and as time grew by, when I got my chance, I'm just doing what I learned from the church, man. And it works on all sides, the gospel side, the soul side, and the blues side. You bring that feeling. Me as the entertainer up front, I have to bring the feeling to the people, and then we share that interaction throughout the performance, and it's like mind blowing.
Yeah. Where do you get your inspiration from when you're producing and writing and all of that?
Just everyday life situations.
Yeah.
I want to be a help. I want to be the joy of somebody's. So, like my music, I'm not doing it to be famous. I didn't do this to be rich. I did this to be a voice, an empath for people that's dealing with things, going through something. I need to be uplifted, and I promise myself, if I continue to look at it that way, then it won't be no limits.
Yeah.
And I see that being manifested in my life right now. It's because I'm the joy of each show. I'm the joy of each. I was the joy of the award show. It's like nobody partied until I got up and made.
Man, it was a party then.
So that's my mission. and my inspiration. Then I think about, you know, what I want to leave for my kids, you know, how I want them to remember me, you know, as a lively guy, you know, a willing guy, a giving guy. So, yes, it's a lot of inspiration.
Now, speaking of the youth, you know, there's a fad, a viral fad going on right now with trail rides. How you feel about that, Mr. Sipp? Because I know you can possibly be in some of these environments where trail rides, or what I would call trail rides where they're line dancing, could be happening. Are you kind of on the tip right now of that? Have you been looking at any of that?
No, I actually have a trail ride song, but and I think I've done 2 or 3 trail rides, but for me, just personally, that's not the
style.
The style is cool. It's just I'm more laid back at this point in my life. I'm 48, knocking on 49.
That is young.
That's still young.
Yeah, but like when you've been on the road since she was 8. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, you know, so I'm more laid back, and it's a bit too upbeat for me.
Yeah.
You know, but my daughters go. You know, they love it, and I support it.
Yeah.
It's too fast for me. It's too fast.
Well, do me a favor, pluck me a little something that's a little slower if you can. Just give my audience a little something that they can kind of wet their whistle with for this upcoming show Saturday, May 31st.
Let me see what I got. I love you with all my might. I love you 'cause I want you to be my wife. I made up in my mind, I'm gonna love you, girl, to the end of time. So let me love you.
Yeah.
Let me love you. Come here, baby, let me love you. Ooh, let me love you. Why did love keep it running warm in my veins?
Yeah.
Hey.
Come on now, Mr. Sipp.
That's what I'm talking about.
Come on, Mr. Sipp. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, everybody, through hard work and perseverance, he has become a Delta blues force to be reckoned with. And you can witness all of this Saturday, May 31st, 8 p.m. at Duling Hall, featuring none other than himself, Mr. Sipp. Mr. Sipp, if they wanted more information or your website, where could they go?
They can go to www.mrsipp.net, and you can find the tour schedule, pictures, news, EPK, sound bits, MP3s.
Yeah.
I have a merch store. You can get the Mr. Sipp jerseys.
Come on
Mr.
now.
Sipp hats.
You can be official.
Oh, you can be official.
Official.
You know, and then you can check me out on social media. What's Instagram, Mr. Sipp _TMBC. You can follow my page, Mr. Sipp, the Mississippi Blues Child, where I just say and do all kind of funny stuff. As a real, I take the artistry off on the Facebook and just be an everyday man. But
I love it.
Just check out the music, love on the music, love on what we're doing, and let's just keep this thing rolling.
Always proud of you,
That's
brother.
right, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've come to the end of another great trip. We want to thank you for riding shotgun and today's guests, Joe Piernes, Jack Hues, and none other than Mr. Sipp for joining us today. So to submit an event or find out more information about these and what's happening around your neck of the woods, visit mpbonline.org. Click that community tab to view Sipp events or email events@mpbonline.org. Next Stop Mississippi is produced by yours truly. For Java Chapman and Kamel King, I'm Germaine Flood. Today's MMPs were Abram Nanny, my right-hand lady, Marissa Vaughn. Thank you both today. Join us next Friday at 10 a.m. for another great trip right here on Next Stop Mississippi. Happy Memorial Day, y'all.